New Kirby owner, struggling to change that belt? Then this is a video for you. Now don't forget, everything used in the video today, there are links in the description below for the best place to get those Kirby products. Make sure you check those out at the end of this video. So if you've bought a new Kirby from a demonstration or you've bought a second-hand Kirby, there's going to become a point when you need to change that belt. Now whether you're getting burning rubber smells or your Kirby's just not picking up, I'll show you a quick and easy way to change your belt, and I'll also tell you a few problems that may be caused if you do this incorrectly. Now looking at the generation series, whether you've got the G3, the G4, the G5, the G6 or even the G7, right up to the Avalir and Avalir 2, at some point you're going to need to change that Kirby belt. You've had your Kirby a couple of years, you might have forgot where you've put them or where Kirby stored them. I will be showing those secret places where they might be, but if you can't find your Kirby belt and you need to get one, I will put a link in the description below the video of the best place to get those Kirby belts. Right, so as I said, there's a couple of places that you may have not noticed that your Kirby belts are, and sometimes they're in plain sight. No matter what model you've got, whether you've got the G3 or up to the Avalir 2, there's going to be a place where that Kirby belt may be hidden and you might have overlooked it. If you've got a Kirby from the G3 up to the G7, one, this is a great place to store them, and it's just a case of unclipping the bag and sliding them off, so they're normally there. If you've got the late Avalir, so the Avalir 1 or the Avalir 2, again, they're stored close to the bag, so they just clipped in there. So all you do is unclip your bag and then pull off your belts and change them. So that's another great place to store your Kirby belts. Now if you've got a Kirby caddy, 9 times out of 10 they're in the Kirby caddy where Kirby have put them, and normally there's a spare belt in another place on your Kirby caddy. So around your duster brush, they've normally put a spare belt there. Bought an Avalir 2 Kirby, have done away with the caddy. Now if you've been using your Kirby's not right, you'll normally forget to look in here. So what you normally find in here is Kirby have put your spare bags in there. There's our duster brush. Again, we've got a spare belt around there. And we've got a 3-pack of belts there. So if in doubt, check it out. Right, so that gives you some great ideas. 1, of where to store your Kirby belts, or 2, where they might be. So jump in now, I'll show you how to change the belt, and I'll explain a couple of indications you might get telling you to change that Kirby belt. Now on all Kirbys from the Heritage 2 right up to the Avalir 2, Kirby fitted this belt indicator. Now what this does is when your Kirby belt's on, this will be permanently lit. If you lower the Kirby down too far, it will start to flicker and you'll get a burning smell, and I have covered that in another video. If this is flickering when the Kirby is not intact or it's lowered to the carpet to the right height, then you need to change that belt. Another reason may be that you are smelling burning rubber, and there are a couple of reasons for that. So let's jump in, start changing the belt, and I'll explain the best way and correct way to fit that Kirby brush roll back in and fit that belt. Right, now if you've just finished vacuuming with your Kirby, your belt's going to still be wound on, so what we do is lift the hood, and we're going to turn this red to red, and the belt is dead. Green to green, it's ready to clean. Flick that off and lift that off. Now this is the ideal time because 9 times out of 10 these get covered in dog hair or even human hair, so it might be your partner or your wife. Sometimes it will wrap around here. The best way to clean that off is just cut it off with a Stanley knife. So next up, to change the belt, we've got the belt wound on with tension at the moment, so if you flip it over you can see that the belt is hooked on. We want to release that because that is holding that brush roll up. So turn that green to green. Now there is no tension on that belt. What that normally does when you turn it green to green on your Kirby is it releases the belt and it will lower on this, and this is what actually spins your brush roll. Now we've removed the portable head, it's the best time to take advantage of making sure this Kirby is nice and clean. You can see I've got a bit of dirt here anyway from just tapping this out. This should be pretty clean. I only cleaned it the other week. So to remove the plug plates, just unlock these. Now if these are stiff, whether it be in an old Kirby or a new Kirby, they might need just wearing in if they haven't been used, or if it's an older Kirby they might be a little bit corroded from being stored. Just spray them with some WD-40 or a little bit of silicone spray and leave them overnight. You can see these remove quite easy. Now we've got our rug plate, so with our rug plate, push our rug plate forward like so. It doesn't pull straight out, you have to push it forward. You've got 2 little hooks, so that will drop forward, and out that comes. Give that a tap, make sure there's no grime in there. Now to remove your brush roll, the easiest way I find is to just pull on the belt. What you may find as well is you might have some hairs along here, so you can clean this once we take it out. So pull that out, set that to one side. Make sure that you clean this as well while you've got this off. You don't have to do this every week, but I advise doing it when you change your belt, otherwise it's going to get all gunged up with dirt and grime. So to remove your bumper, it literally pulls off. Give that a tap. Obviously I'm not going to do it on a marble table. Give that a tap. Any grime or bits of dirt will fall out. You can give this a wipe out with a wet wipe if you want. Make sure it's fully dry before you use it again. Replace our rubber bumper. The rubber bumper, make sure everything's slid on correctly. So make sure the back's on, the front's on. It's not twisted out of shape, and as you can see, that side's got on, but this side's a little bit twisted. Make sure that's fully on, because otherwise when you're going to fit your rug plate, it won't fit, and you'll also damage your bumper. To change your belt, slide that one off, put that to one side, and then we'll fit our new belt. While we're at this stage as well, I advise obviously removing any hair from here, so you can just pull them off if you've got a partner with long hair or dogs with long hair that might be wrapped around here. Use a little Stanley knife if you need to, it gets that bad. 9 times out of 10, if you do this every time you change your belt, it shouldn't get overcrowded with hair and dog hair. Pull these off, check there's no grime or hair in there, slot that back on, check on this side, pull that off, check that's clean, which it is, put that back on. We'll grab our new belt, so we've got our new belt here, our old belt there, so you can tell the old belt, because it's sort of grey. This one's perfectly black, brand new, never been used. And slide that on like so. Now what you may have noticed, and Kirby don't seem to explain this in the demonstrations as they should, but you've got 3 notches on the side here. So you see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, flip it around, got 1, 2, 1, 2. I have explained this in another video, and this is a reason for people burning belts. If you've got a new Kirby Avalir, then this will be set to a number 1. You've got a number here as well, and that's on both sides. So when you put this back in, don't put it like number 3 and number 1, because then your brush roll will sit off center. And again, you're going to burn belts. Also, you're going to damage your carpet because you're running that brush roll too low, and you're also going to put strain on your Kirby motor. So to put this back in now, what I like to do is start with both of those on number 3, and we go number 2, number 1, number 3, number 2, number 1, okay? That one there is not a setting. If you put it in on that one, it will get stuck. So turn that back to number 1. Have your number 1 facing up, then face it away from you, and slot that into your portable Kirby head. Push that down. That's in now, number 1, make sure that one slides in. So double check, you've got a number 1, make sure your belt's in the center. Now we're going to replace our rug plate. And make sure your bumper is perfectly on, correct. Grab your rug plate. So the 2 hooks here are going to go in these 2 slots at the front. So we're going to slide that on, like so. And if your bumper is fitted correctly, this should just drop in place, which it does, and clips down. If it doesn't and it's sticking up, double check that bumper. Don't force it because you will damage your bumper. Then you're going to need to buy a new Kirby bumper. Push that down, get your clips, slide that to lock, slide that to lock, and that now is ready to fit to our Kirby. To back at our Kirby, if you're not going to vacuum, I suggest leaving the belt wound on. This will make the belt last a lot longer if that Kirby is not going to be in use. If you're going to vacuum, then obviously wind your belt back on and turn that green to green. It will be quite stiff because it's a new belt. Slot that on, make sure that connects in that safety switch, flick it up, flip it over, back on, green to green, ready to clean, and lock the hood down. Don't forget everything you use in the video today. There are links in the description below for the best place to get those Kirby products. So make sure you check those out at the end of this video. Now I hope you found that tutorial really helpful. If you did, make sure to slap that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. And if you want to support the channel as well, there is a super thanks button down there. I'd appreciate you buying me a coffee. Now for those of you having trouble with your Kirby zip brush, check out this video on how to service your Kirby zip brush. And if you want to know how to change your Kirby bag, check out this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next one.